I welcome on YourPedia, and I'm very sure many of you are looking forward to join this job जो Ministry of Commerce and Industry का gazetted A post है, that is examiner of patent and design. The best thing about this job is gazetted A post तो है ही, the domain is very good, patent and design बहुत interesting domain है, lot of growth opportunities. कल को जॉब छोड़ के तुम्हें प्राइवेट सेक्टर में जाना है या एंटरप्रेन्योरियल अपॉर्चुनिटी एक्सप्लोर करना है, even then patent and design is a very good field. You can become consultant in that. Now government is giving you good chance, government is giving you good opportunity here. Lot of positions are declared in this particular for this particular profile, and many departments, engineering department students are eligible for this. YourPedia has launched a wonderful module for this, and this particular video is related to this intellectual property right topic of entire syllabus, and I will tell you the weightage of IPR for this exam. अच्छा स्कोरिंग है और अच्छा एज क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. यू कैन क्रिएट एज कंपेयर टू अदर स्टूडेंट्स बिकॉज you people have not studied this topic in your engineering, and this is a quite vast topic, but we can make justice with this particular topic. So as I already told you in previous videos, the best thing about this exam is like timeline is fixed, like 3rd September you people are gonna have your preliminary, then I think some 20 time people they are gonna call in mains, and 1st October is mains. So pre और mains के बीच में gap is very less, so you need to prepare simultaneously for mains also. Then interviews will be 11th and 12th of November, and 17th November you will have a really good job in your pocket. You understand? इतने 3-4 months के span में this is the wonderful opportunity you can explore. Now intellectual property is a topic which we normally don't study in engineering. It is not difficult, but it is a new thing, you have not studied it. So I'm gonna cover this topic for all of you. And preliminary का जो pattern है, preliminary exam pattern, that already you people are knowing. There will be some 150 question and 150 marks, each question 1 mark, and in that 1 mark questions you will get questions from intellectual property also. So they have mentioned about IP legislation in India, World Intellectual Property Organization and related treaties, so 15 marks. So out of 150, 15, that is 10% question or 10% marks will be from these topics: IP legislation in India, World Intellectual Property Organization and related treaties. That is my domain, and you will get all the questions from there. I will ensure that. Then you come to mains, and in the mains also paper 1, paper 2 is there. Paper 1 is objective type, paper 2 is descriptive answer. Paper 1 will be 100 questions, and in 100 questions 20 questions are from IPR, intellectual property right, and there is a big weightage, 20%. So paper 1 में 20 question out of 100 are from IPR, and again all those questions are gonna come from the topics which we'll be discussing. So preliminary में what is the weightage of IPR, that is 10%, and mains में what is the weightage of IPR, that is 20%, and we are going to cover entire IPR from where these questions are going to come. Now today my topic is terminologies. I'm going to cover today terminologies. Terminologies means some terms which you people should be aware. Intellectual property एक general term है, so certain terminologies you people should be knowing in intellectual property. What is patent? What is the trade name of, what is the trademark? What do you understand by this terminologies like geographical indicators? So there are some terms which we people should be aware, and today's this particular lecture is about that. And intellectual property is a very broad term, उसके अंदर बहुत कुछ आता है, so that we should understand the terminologies. And the document which I am going to teach you today along with the questions, so that document is available. You can download this document from the website of YourPedia, YourPedia.in. go and download this particular document also. Intellectual property definition आपसे कोई नहीं पूछेगा, nobody is going to ask you definition, don't memorize it, but yes, you should know that it is basically human intellectual property related to intangible creation. Intangible जिसको touch नहीं कर सकते, something which you can touch. Suppose I give you this pen, I can touch it, it is tangible. Tangible जिसको touch किया जा सके, intangible which cannot be touched, you cannot touch it, like software, you understand. like the soft copy of a book, whatever you have written. ये PPT जो मैंने बनाया है, you can't touch the PPT. I have made it. Now suppose I sell one PPT to you. I sell you this PPT in 100 rupees. Next time nobody is going to purchase that PPT from me, because you can sell it further to 50 rupees and then further 10 rupees and further free of cost. So intangible things which cannot be touched can easily be sold without any benefit to the main owner of that thing. But suppose I make a pen, can you, if I sell you pen 100 rupees and you want to sell it further, nothing will be left with you. मैंने पीपीटी तुम्हें दी है तो मेरे पास भी है, तुम्हारे पास भी है, मल्टीप्लाई हो गया, लेकिन पेन मल्टीप्लाई नहीं होगा. दैट इज द मेन रीजन व्हाई इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी इज रिक्वायर्ड, प्रोटेक्शन इज रिक्वायर्ड. सो दिस इज बेसिकली इंक्लूडिंग इंटेंजिबल क्रिएशन, समथिंग विच कैन नॉट बी टच्ड, उसका क्रिएशन ऑफ ह्यूमन इंटेलेक्ट, माई इंटेलेक्ट. मैंने दिमाग लगाया, मैंने एफर्ट लगाया, आई मेड दिस पीपीटी. यू कैन नॉट टच दिस पीपीटी, बट यू कैन मल्टीप्लाई दिस without giving any benefit to me. That is the reason intellectual property is to be protected. Example, invention, कोई बुक मैंने लिख दिया, आर्टिस्टिक वर्क मैंने कर दिया, कोई गाना वाना मैंने गा दिया, बहुत अच्छा गाना मैंने गाया, बहुत मेहनत मैंने की. So those things are basically the intellectual properties. And since I put effort, मेरे को उसका benefit मिलना चाहिए. I should get money, I should get advantage of whatever I make, intellectual property. So suppose I sing a song, I composed a song, I am singing the song, I am putting the effort, I should get money out of it. But suppose I sing a song and now it is everybody is listening, they are not giving me money for that. So how do I protect my intellectual property? जो tangible property है, something which you can touch, house, building, land, car, that I can protect. But think of intangible, I cannot protect it, so I need its protection, and government makes the laws for its protection. Now as I told you, what is tangible, what is intangible? Tangible is something which you can touch, cash, furniture, vehicle, building. Intangible, something which you cannot touch, that is your trademark, logo, patent, copyright, wo something. And intellectual property is related to this. Intellectual property right, IPR, is related to intangible asset. And why I am focusing this word intangible? Because in the exam questions will not come direct, it may come indirectly. That intellectual property right and legislations protect both the assets, tangible and intangible, or only intangible or only tangible. That kind of questions might come. Now IP is protected by law. As I told you that there has to be some law by government to protect it. And what are various laws? The laws are related to patents, copyright, trademark, which basically protect your interest. If I have invented something, so that my invention should be protected. Now there are two things which we need to make a balance. The innovator, I am innovator, my interest should be protected, and public ka interest should also be protected. Suppose I realize that अगर मैं एक गाना गाऊंगा, अगर मैं एक if I sing a song, then I am not going to get any money from this, I am not going to get any kind of commerce from this. Why shall I put effort? Suppose today I write some kind of software, I make some software, I write an algorithm after putting lot of effort, and I write an algorithm and I make a software. Suppose I know that the moment I make a software, other fellow will also copy it and make the similar software, so I will get no money. If that situation is there, I will not even innovate. So intellectual property regulations, intellectual property protection is important to motivate inventor, motivate the people from doing the creativity and produce intangible products. Otherwise people will not produce intangible products. So that protection is important to facilitate the inventions and creativity of the people. Sometime he will ask you that sometime he will ask you what are the background of these all things. So just read this particular slide. Okay, so now you see this entire intellectual property concept developed in England in 17th and 18th century. ये dates भी important है because I remember when in many of the exams this question used to be asked that industrial revolution started from which country, which century. So 19th century लंदन और इंग्लैंड से इंडस्ट्रियल रिवोल्यूशन स्टार्टेड. सिमिलरली इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी का कंसेप्ट कहां से आया था, वो भी इंग्लैंड से आया. 17th and 18th century it is talking about, and then there is a history behind that, we need not to go into that. And the main purpose was to create different intellectual goods, right? And this protection is given by government or by laws for limited period of time. 5 साल 10 साल, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. एक बार आपका कोई ट्रेडमार्क और पेटेंट इज फाइल्ड, इट इज फाइल्ड फॉर लिमिटेड ड्यूरेशन, नॉट इनफाइनाइट ड्यूरेशन. अंडरस्टैंड? सो इट इज फॉर लिमिटेड ड्यूरेशन ऑफ टाइम. And people protect their original ideas to prevent the unauthorized copying. Whosoever is the creator, he gets the economic advantage of this. So economic incentive is the main reason why people will put effort, so that should be protected. And innovation can only be promoted if I am assured that yes, whatever effort I am putting, I will get something out of it. So my effort will be protected, then only I will put the effort, and your laws, intellectual property right laws, will take care of that only. Intellectual property, there are different categories of IPR. Intellectual properties में there are different categories. 4 main categories. Classification also I will discuss with you in next couple of slides, but 4 main categories are patent, trademark, copyright, trade secret, etc. So I'll be discussing with you what is each category, and you should know the name of each category. So these are the normally, in fact, trade secret also sometimes people don't talk about. So patent, copyright, trademark, these are the 3 which are the most commonly talked about. इनका meaning क्या है, that also I will discuss with you. This particular slide is very important. The classification is very important. All the intellectual properties can be categorized in 2 categories: industrial property and copyright. Industrial property further is categorized as this. Industrial property is categorized as invention, and patent is related to invention. You see this carefully. Sometime we can ask you that which of the intellectual property is related to the invention, is related to invention. So invention is related to patent. आपने बल्ब बना दिया, you made a bulb, you made something else, so that for that you need to file the patent. Whenever there is a invention, you need to file the patent. Trademark is something which is the logo of your product. Trademark, जैसे Mercedes Benz का आपने वो साइन देखा है, सिंबल देखा है, something like that. Industrial design is what kind of shape you have. You people are using iPhone, there is a typical kind of shapes of Coca-Cola bottle की shape है. So that particular shape and aesthetics, industrial design. Trade secrets, Coca-Cola as a cold drink has a formula, chemical formula, that is a secret. So that means how this is how it is basically related. Copyright is for something which is literary work, मैंने book लिखा उसका copyright मिल जाए. So all the intellectual properties can be classified as industrial properties and copyright. Copyright is related to books and related to music, related to some kind of artistic work. अगर मैंने को painting बना दिया है, so painting, music, books, what is related? Copyright. Industrial design, property. Industrial property में आ जाता है तुम्हारा patents, trademark, design, trade secrets, all these things come related to that. Anyhow, we will discuss that in the next slides. Now see this slide, it can help you. So what is intellectual property? If somebody asks you, how do you define? Sir, this is the creation of the mind. Intellectual means mind. Mind created something that became my property. After all, what was Google? What was Facebook? What was this emailing? What was these all things which we talk about nowadays? But as you know, this Google or what we talk about, Facebook and all social networking sites, they were human intellect created things but gave you a lot of wealth. So that means it is the mind, creation of the mind, and creation of the mind is eventually your property, which is called intellectual property. So today if I am singing a song, that is my talent. I am singing a song, that is my intellect, and because of the intellect, that is my property. Understand? So it can be artistic, it can be invention, it can be symbol, it can be anything. Copyright is given for these categories: literary work, books, films, music, artistic work, architectural design, all these things. Industrial property is that I told you two categories, copyright and industrial property. Industrial property it can be patent, bulb, trademark, industrial design, geographical indicators. So this slide is also very important. So these two slides are very important and they will tell you holistically what is intellectual property classification. Intellectual property, my property of my mind, creation of my mind, gave me property. It is categorized in two ways, industrial property, copyright. Now what is copyright? Related to all these things. And what is industrial property? Which is related to all these. And we are going to study that in the next slides also. Again, now as I told you, what are the different types of your intellectual properties? We have already discussed it. So patent related to inventions, copyright related to books and all, trademark, design, trade secrets, all these things are related to your intellectual property. So intellectual property has some kind of commercial and moral values, right? And it gives the exclusive right to the person who created it. So that he can get benefited of it. So somebody asks you, why do you need to protect your intellectual property? Because I want to get money out of it. I want to have some kind of benefit out of it. I should get some kind of business out of it. I created it. If I make some product, I sell in the market and get money. Similarly, intellectual property is also my property. I should get something in the return. So that is the reason I make this as intellectual. I need to protect it. Other than couple of categories which I told you, remember the names, general names also. Patent is there, trademark is there, industrial design is there, plant varieties are there, copyright is there, geographical indicator is there, then confidential information or industrial this trade secret. This confidential information means some kind of trade secret. So all this comprise your intellectual property right. Now if I talk about India, IPR in India, more or less the same thing. So trade secret, geographical indicator, model design, utility design, plant breeders, copyright, and exam में question can come. Which of the following is not the example of intellectual property right or intellectual property? So he might give you some names in this and he might give you something which is not in the intellectual property. So आपको बहुत से questions का practice YourPedia पे आप करोगे related to this and do those questions meticulously for getting confident in this. Again another slide. So what are the various IPR in India? So remember these names. What do you understand? At least you should have gone through these names. एक बार नाम को देखना, इनका meaning क्या है, so that you get some idea for this. Okay. Now what is intellectual property? As I told you, it is intangible in nature. You can't touch it. But the point is like typically जो conventional चीज है property है वो divide नहीं कर सकते. You can't divide that. But intellectual property you can multiply it, you can divide it, you can replicate it and sell it. I gave you the example. You give me you made a very good PPT. I made a very good document. I want to sell it this document. The moment I sell it to you, you can sell it further at lesser cost. If it is not protected. If it is protected, every time you sell it, some money comes to me. So the only trouble with intellectual property is how should I protect it? Because the moment I start selling it, it goes forward and I cannot protect it. That is how it goes. So there is always a balance which I am to take care, and the balance should be like this should be how much strong it should be and how much strong it should not be there. So if I protect it and protection is very strong, so it helps me. But if it is not so strong, then my product may go in the market. So you need to make a balance between the two. Okay, so it has to be a combination of these two. It should be strong enough that my interests are taken care of, and it should not be so much strong that you cannot even multiply it for the benefit of people. Because ultimately any technology, the ultimate objective of that is to help masses, to help people. You made a music, आपने बहुत अच्छा म्यूजिक बनाया, सॉन्ग बनाया और लोग उसको सुन ही नहीं पा रहे हैं. People are not in position to listen that. What is the benefit of that? So there has to be balance. I mean, whatever I make, that should go to masses. It should help masses. So protection should not be very strong. And if protection is not very strong or it is very weak, it will not take care of my interest. So healthy combination is required. So protection should be neither very strong nor very weak. I told you these are the four main categories you can think of. Copyright, protection of your work. So this is how many years, up to what years you can go for copyright, though I'll be discussing each of the head separately. Trademark 15 साल के लिए होता है, पेटेंट 20 साल के लिए होता है, इंडस्ट्रियल डिजाइन 15 साल के लिए होता है, कॉपीराइट 50 साल के लिए होता है. तो मैक्सिमम ड्यूरेशन किसके लिए होता है? कॉपीराइट के लिए. सो इफ यू साइन अ कॉपीराइट, मैक्सिमम ड्यूरेशन ऑफ टाइम you can protect your copyright. Under which category do you protect the new technology or innovation? That is patent, right? Aesthetics, which intellectual property is related to looks, beauty, aesthetics, industrial design. Which one is related to invention, scientific invention, patent? Which one is related to painting, songs, books and all, that is copyright. Trademark, logo, how do you compare yourself with others? Trademark, right? This is how it is to be done. Now what is the patent? Let's understand what is patent. I told you, think of patent, think of invention, something which new you created. Patent owner जो है, he will decide that to whom he will transfer the technology. Think of Wright brothers made aeroplane. They spent lot of time, died also in the process. So lot of time, effort goes in making one machine, aeroplane. Now tomorrow you can come, you can do reverse engineering and make similar aeroplane as I made. So where Wright brothers will get benefited, you understand? So patent is required to, basically they made a patent for aeroplane. Edison made bulb. You must be knowing that scientists like Edison and all, they were very rich. Why? Because whatever they used to make, they used to patent that, and patent that बाद में किसी को भी करना है, he used to follow the same patent, he used to purchase that particular patent or license, right? Then Graham Bell made telephone, so they were patented. So think of these examples. These are the latest example. iPhone. Now if you want to make another mobile similar to that, I mean you must have made some kind of patent for this. You can't make like iPhone. Why people like iPhone? Because of the aesthetics or something. So आपको उसका बनाना पड़ेगा. Drone तुम जानते हो, quadcopter drone, 4 पंखे हैं उसके, something like that, right? GPS, 3D printer, so जितनी भी new technologies है, patented होती है. These all are latest technologies you people are working in. These are patented. And what is copyright now? Sir, literary, artistic work, book, music, painting, sculpture, films, computer program like Microsoft, operating system, database, advertisement. So, all these things, video games, book, music, everything comes under copyright. And copyrights are different in different countries. Right? So, this is how you need to take the license. Like Microsoft operating system, if you are using, obviously you need to purchase that, you need to take the version of that. This is how it all goes. This is a typical example of copyright. Windows operating system, Kenny G music of Kenny G, Mona Lisa का वो जो painting है, Harry Potter का book है. So books, paintings, songs, you understand? Software, all these are example of patent. Now what is trademark? How do you define trademark? Trademark is a sign of some particular product, logo उसके ऊपर जो logo लगा होता है. Trademark means your mark or sign, kind of sign you do. आप दूर से देख के आपको पता लग जाएगा, okay, this is MACD, this is logo of particular vehicle. ये Mercedes का logo है, ये आपका उसका particular cold drink का logo है. So there is some kind of symbol, some kind of logo that is called trademark. And trademark is to separate your product from other products, because you think that your product people value and you want to separate it from other similar products. So होता क्या है? This can be a word, this can be a phrase, this can be a symbol. ये एक लाइन भी हो सकती है. Trademark can be a line also. Like आपने देखा होगा कोल्ड ड्रिंक वगैरह के ऊपर कई बार कोक, पेप्सी के ऊपर एक लाइन लिखी होती है. One line they give. That can also be trademark. And he can ask you in the exam that डर के आगे जीत है, लाइक कोल्ड ड्रिंक का एक ऐड आता है, डर के आगे जीत है. तो डर के आगे जीत क्या है? वो कॉपीराइट है, वो आपका ट्रेड सीक्रेट है, वो आपका ट्रेडमार्क है, क्या है वो? तो आंसर इज ट्रेडमार्क. इट कैन बी अ लाइन ऑल्सो, राइट? सो दिस इज हाउ इट ऑल गोज. Examples also you see, examples का जैसे जो आपने acronym लिखा होता है that can also become example of your trademark. किस तरह के ट्रेडमार्क होते हैं? So it can be brand name like Apple, McDonald, right? It can be product name like iPod. It can be logo. It can be slogan. What is your wallet? I'm loving it. Anything. It can be trademark. Can be anything. Coca-Cola. It can be any shape. Coca-Cola bottle. Apple iPod. It can be like sound. जैसे आपने देखा होगा sound भी आप trademark करते हो. Some kind of music comes, so that also is trademark. It can be symbol, it can be combination. So all these are examples of trademark. See these examples of trademark. Logo. So now Mercedes, the moment you see this, something comes to mind. That is a Mercedes Benz. IBM, see, acronym, IBM, acronym, that also become trademark. So I think you should be clear what trademark is. Now, what is industrial design? Industrial design is nothing but aesthetics, beauty. Design may consist of three-dimensional features such as shape, surface of article, or two-dimensional feature, pattern, line, color, anything. So something which is related to aesthetics, beauty, that is called design. Why people go for any Apple product? Because aesthetically it is very nicely designed. So that Apple is famous for this, that whatever product you take of Apple, they are costly because they are aesthetically designed product. The laptop they have or their personal computer they made, beauty pe they focused more. Similarly, Mercedes Benz or any good product, any costly product, if you see, they are basically protected through the quality of their aesthetics. So it is for shape, configuration, surface pattern, color, line, how it appears. So visual appearance related intellectual properties, industrial design. And this is protection is normally provided under Indian law. It is Design Act of 2000. It is provided for 10 years. So that obviously we will be discussing in detail. Which one is provided for how much duration, kitne duration ke liye hota, that we will discuss it. Now the moment you see these things, people spend lot of money, energy and time in designing the product. So when they started in the beginning to make Coca-Cola ka bottle kaisa dikhna chahiye, what should be the bottle, so that the moment I give you bottle you understand, okay, this is Coca-Cola. Now in our mind, if I tell you this bottle, Coca-Cola will not come in your mind. If I tell you see this bottle, you will not think of Coca-Cola. This bottle, no. This bottle, no. The moment I say this bottle, you say, okay, this is Coca-Cola. So that design is very important. That is called industrial design. So by seeing design itself, you think of product. That becomes your brand, right? Similarly, this costly cars, Beetle or this Volkswagen car and all this MacBook of Apple MacBook or iPhone, they have particular shape, So even if you remove this Apple from here, so people will say, okay, this is the iPhone. That is industrial design. Another example of industrial design, the kind of headlight Mercedes-Benz has, or the bulbs you make and the kind of shape you give, that all is industrial design. This is also very, very important part of that. Now geographic indicators means something which is produced in particular region, like Darjeeling ki chai, basmati rice, champagne of France. So these are basically, I am to protect it. Suppose I say the wine which I make in France, Champagne region is the best. So champagne costly ho gaya because that's a quality related to area, geographic indicator. So nobody else can produce champagne now. Only the champagne of that region will be, wine of that region will be called champagne. Similarly, basmati rice is only because of that particular region or something like that. So basmati rice को अब थोड़ा सा debatable है ये कि उसको मिला है कि नहीं मिला है. Darjeeling का चाय and all these things, you should be aware about these things. Now these are some of the names of geographic indicators in India and geographic indicators of other part of world, like Havana ka cigar, Cuba ka cigar is very famous. Scotch is a region, right? So whiskey, Scotch whiskey of United Kingdom, tequila of Mexico, so Swiss knife, Madhubani painting of Bihar, and then Darjeeling ki tea, Fulkari of Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, all these things, right? So these are related to region. So trade secret is something which is your secret. I told you like Coca-Cola का जो cold drink है उसमें chemical is a secret for that. So type of secret information you should have is before you book it as a trade secret: financial data, technique, formula, pattern. So your secrets are to be there, and if you reveal those secrets, maybe your business gets hampered. So this is my secret. If I reveal it, people will start getting benefited. That is the meaning of it. It's confidential information which should be sold or licensed, and I should not disclose this secret information to anyone. That is called this particularly trade secret. So what is trade secret? Something which is not known to others. It is economically valuable, and I have put a lot of effort to maintain that secrecy. So that is called a trade secret. I gave you like KFC का इसका recipe क्या है? The recipe of this, chemical formula of this, that is a secret. That is called trade secret. What is the main difference? So you stop this slide and understand what is the difference between patent, industrial design and copyright. And also you should know what is the difference of these three. Though as I told you, I will be discussing in detail about it. As of now, understand patent means invention, technological invention, industrial design means aesthetics, appearance, copyright means something related to books, music, photography, etc. Can you answer this question now? Patent and design in India comes under which ministry? Okay, Ministry of Commerce. वो तो हम कर ही रहे हैं, Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Intellectual property is related to what? Tangible, intangible, both, or what? Intangible. B is the answer, intangible. जिसको touch ना किया जा सके. Which of the following does not come under intellectual or industrial property? Sorry. Copyright does not come under industrial property. दो categories हैं, industrial property and copyright. Which of the following is issued for maximum duration of time? Answer is copyright. So you can see that we have discussed that in one of the slides. Which of the following is related to patent? Sorry, this invention होना चाहिए था. Which of the following is related to invention? Answer is patent. Quadcopter drone is example of what? Quadcopter drone is example of patent. Coca-Cola bottle is example of what? This is the design aesthetics, so it is related to industrial design. Champagne, geographic indicators. Microsoft operating system, copyright. Aesthetics, industrial design. Okay, so I think with this we come to an end of our this first lecture, which was related to terminologies. My first lecture of intellectual property for the job of patent examiner, patent and design, gazetted a Group A job under Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Wonderful job, 3 months, and we will be in this particular job. So intellectual property comprise big chunk, 10%, 20% pre mains. तैयार करो, आसानी से मार्क्स आ जाएगा. एक मार्क्स के लिए फाइट करना पड़ेगा, and I can assure you, you will get sufficient with YourPedia. You need not to go here and there for the content. You will get sufficient content for that. All the very best, and look forward to mentor you for this particular exam. Thank you.